On today's episode of Anime Afterthought ReZero Season 2 Episode 9, Love, 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 Love You. Holy shit. Oh my god. Yo, every fucking episode has been fucking amazing. Finally, we get faces to actually go with our witches. Like, we actually get to meet more witches. Like, it's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. Not to mention, Roswell, you secret hiding bastard. What the fuck is up with you? Ugh. Okay, now last we left off, we bore witness to the most gruesome death I have ever seen in ReZero, let alone, I mean, I don't watch gory anime because that's just not how I swing, but Jesus Christ, to be ripped asunder from both inside and out by a little white rabbit mob beast, or should I say an entire army of little white rabbit mob beasts. And then you guys tell me it's even worse in a fucking novel, like they eat his balls and literally go through his asshole. Like, no wonder when he comes to in his next loop, I mean, obviously you're gonna fucking die from that. He literally cannot take it. In his anguish, he is once again summoned to the witch's tea party. Face to face with Echidna as well as her calming effect on Subaru's witch factor, it seems he finally has time to think. But with pure desperation and no one to truly confide in, he turns to Echidna. And with one statement, he is finally able to unburden this heavy load he's been carrying all by his lonesome. Yes, I have the power to return by death. With the cold, dark hand of Satella no longer grasping his heart, nor Echidna falling victim to her, a miracle has truly just occurred. Finally, someone knows the struggle that Subaru has been going through since day fucking one. And upon this realization, the floodgates have been opened and Subaru pours his heart out. And luckily, he has Echidna. And this is where we pick up today's episode. It looks like Subaru went into more detail as they pick up the conversation right after this. Echidna makes it very clear she is quite upset with the individual who bestowed their quote-unquote blessing upon you, this gift of return by death. More so, she's actually well aware of who the culprit is, thus reaffirming what Subaru already presumed, stating that yes, he believed ever since the beginning, his first encounter with this power and hearing the legends of the witches, he assumed it was the Witch of Envy, and in fact, it was Satella the whole time, and Echidna basically confirms this. Now, it's an interesting point. This whole conversation alludes to the fact that Subaru is the sole focus of the return by death, this power to rewrite and reset destiny to the point where it's a desired outcome. But when Subaru brings up the fact of Rem and, others have perished, even though return by death is, this ability, Echidna makes the very valid point. Well, it's not really taken into consideration. See, Subaru, this power isn't to form your desired destiny. It's a power to make my, aka Satella's destiny true. Like, she wants you to survive. That is the end goal. So no matter what you go through, no matter how much you are backed into a corner, you have this out, this trump card in your pocket you can play. And as far as Rem, Amelia, Otto, I mean, whoever you in your life are concerned with, it's no concern of me, fuck them, I only rely on you. And this is like a giant revelation to him, like, oh shit, see, I can use this power all I want, but in the end, if my, journey is paved with a bunch of sacrifices, there's no way I can actually return back. It's just these checkpoints involve me and me alone, but it seems this only invigorates his determination to utilize this power for his benefit. You know what, fuck it, I'll use it until I lose it. Like, this is my power. No longer concerned with the fact that is there a limit to this actual return by death power, which they say at the very beginning. As long as Satella has the delusion to keep you alive, the power will just keep me, it's unlimited until maybe her delusion is shattered, when no longer will I be straddled by the fact like, hey, maybe there is a limit to everything. You gave me this power, but I'm gonna use it for my fucking self. But remember, just because he now knows that there's no limit to it, or, he once again, reconfirms the fact that it is Satella, and there's a whole mess of yandere-ness going on with that shit, but we still gotta deal with what's going on in the actual world. I mean, yeah, we've got the shit with the trial in the sanctuary. We have the shit going on at the fucking mansion. And now we have this fucking army of white mobbies, rabbits, and I mean, Echidna, do you have any thoughts? I mean, do you have any plans? I mean, suffice it to say, the thing that's preoccupying his mind right now is that he just got gobbled up by a million fucking rabbits. Like, okay, so let's try to deal with this first. And it looks like Echidna has maybe some sort of plan. See, this is one of the most amazing parts ever. Like, I just fucking love this part. She's like, well, why don't you just talk to its creator? Huh? Whose creator? Well, we do know that, thanks to a comment and a rewatch, the little white rabbit had a marking talking that was very familiar, aka white whale familiar, and we know that that beast was created by a witch, and it's safe to assume that this one is too, and it's all again once confirmed by Echidna that the Great Warbit, as it is called, was actually created by the witch Daphne, the witch of gluttony, and well, the best bet if you want to defeat it is talk to her. Now, me, much like Subaru at this point, is like, okay, well, how the fuck's that gonna work? I heard you all fuckers are dead. And she's like, dude, you're literally talking to a witch right now. Yeah, I was thinking, what the fuck's going on? Well, okay, so I guess there's 7 witches. Obviously, Satella is alive, so that means there's 6 witches. We see Echidna right here. Well, it turns out that they're actually all in this witch's tea party realm, and I guess Echidna is just the face of a multi-souled being, and they can switch, like, given the permission. Yeah, so all the witches actually reside in this realm area. And yeah, we're about to meet some fucking witches. Subaru's like, fuck it, you know what, I have to talk to this chick. Let's go ahead and maybe she'll give me some tips on defeating it. So yeah, unleash Daphne, the witch of gluttony. Of course, there are some rules, aka do not fucking touch her. Do not unshackle her. You know what, just avoid her altogether, don't even look at her. He's like, dude, that's making me sound like a kind of a dick, man. Like, I'm playing coy or something like that. That's not how Subaru rolls. She goes, no, trust me. And it all fucking makes sense when we get to actually see the witches in action. Well, the first one that pops out is not her. It's actually the chibi lolly-esque Typhoon, the Witch of Pride, taking on this little angel-esque form that we see. And you get to see these warp twist versions of the descriptions we saw Echidna went through at the very beginning. Like, this chick, this little girl, wanted to test out whether or not Subaru was a good person, saying, you know, sin is followed by pain or whatever, and fucking proceeds to rip his arm off because he didn't feel any pain, therefore he's a good person. Now, anyone in the same predicament would probably act, you know, the same. Like, you might not feel any pain, but your arm just got fucking ripped asunder, so yeah, it starts freaking out. And then all of a sudden, she recants another thing. A little fucking, almost sounds like a fucking spell to me at this point. He just fucking shatters. And she comes to the conclusion that because he felt no pain, he actually is good. But because he shattered, he believes himself to be a sinner, therefore he has a good heart. Like, you can tell she's just trying to figure out if, you know, Baru, at this point, is a good person, yet her methods are so fucking sadistic and warped and twisted. It's one of those things where it's like the ends justify the means, but this is beyond fucked up. Now, Typhoon, after literally shattering Subaru to pieces as he's laying on the ground, remember, still alive at this point, this is basically his consciousness, decides to tap out. She's gonna go ahead and switch with another witch, this time flying through the air, once again uttering the twisted rhetoric of her sin, is Minerva, the witch of wrath. And once again, we can see her twisted logic, how she'll beat and destroy to heal and fix. Like, it's a very weird thing, and you actually see it in action when she begins to just send this barrage of punches to these pieces of Subaru, and they're restored. Like, I'm beginning to suspect that the most interesting characters we've barely even met, like we're literally meeting right now, these fucking witches with these warped sense of logic and twisted sense of morality. Like, oh god. So with Minerva cleaning up Typhoon's mess, it's time for her to leave as well. Once again, stating that she'll heal everyone in the world with her fist. Like I said, you see how fucking twisted that is, and even Subaru points out, like, that definitely sounds like a fucking threat. Well, it's time to dip, time to usher on the next witch, and finally we get to Daphne. This is the Witch of Gluttony. This is the creator of not only the white whale, the great rabbit, but now we know that there's a fucking black serpent involved, so Jesus fucking Christ. So this is the witch we were warned about. This is the Witch of Gluttony, and once again, Jesus, a warp twisted sense of, you know, her sin. It makes so much fucking sense. Like, first and foremost, let's get into the fact that Subaru smells delicious to her. Now, I don't know if this is because of the witch's scent, the miasma that surrounds him, the aura, but this is getting her body throbbing and her stomach growling to the point where she is drooling at this point. I'm pretty sure she drools constantly. If she's the Witch of Gluttony, constantly hungry. Yeah, well, Subaru begins to actually interrogate her, question her. Like, this is the witch we've been waiting for. I mean, yeah, let's go ahead and figure this shit out. Once again, the warped, twisted logic of a witch. The white whale she created was big, therefore a lot of people could eat from it. And the great rabbit is the same. It can multiply indefinitely, therefore no one will ever be hungry. He's like, what the fuck are you fucking talking about? The white whale and the great rabbit have caused so much destruction. They're definitely killing more than they feed. And we get to see it. There's the fucking twist right here. Oh, well, this is an eat or be eaten situation. Like, one must kill to survive. Like, you think eating is, you can just eat for free? Like, no. Those who eat must prepare to be eaten as well. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. So you had the power to create Mobby. You had the power to create this giant creation, yet you created something that could, it's like a fucking test. Like, all these witches are like, they're so fucking twisted. Like, I love him. Jesus Christ. Now, this is my fucking favorite part, right? He gets some vital information on, you know, the great rabbit. It is basically a hive mind, one single consciousness. Like, she created it to be, you know, have huge vitality, but when it comes to actual thinking, it's just a dum-dum. So if you have someone with a lot of mana, like, since it feeds on mana, just use them as a decoy, bing, bang, boom, get rid of all of them at once. Like, that's your best bet. Is there anything I can help you with? Well, yeah, you don't want to leave yet, because Subaru is about to give you a fucking talking to. Thanks for the tips, but I just want to let you know, I'm clapping all these motherfuckers. I already dispatched of the white whale. I'm taking out the rabbit. I'm taking out all of them, not leaving a scratch. I just want to make that sure it's okay with you, mother. Get a nice little dig, since these are her creations. Like, okay, mother, I don't want you fucking being all upset since I take these fuckers out. This actually enrages her. Like, you begin to see her shackles start to shake. She has to get the grimacing figure, and even like comments like, you think a mere mortal, a mere human like yourself can fucking do it? Try it, motherfucker. Try it. We'll see what happens. He goes, oh, don't worry. Don't worry. Shit's about to get crazy. I almost got hard right there. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. Eventually, she dips. We're back to Echidna. I, much like Subaru at this point, is like, wow, Echidna is the only fucking sane one at this point. Like, Jesus Christ. Neither the other witches. But at the same time, what's her twist? What's her warped sense of morality? Some comments have led to me believe that this is all just a facade. I'm not 100% sure on that. She's been pretty genuine with us so far. I don't know if she's just playing us or what, but actually compared to the other witches, we haven't seen her twist in logic, her warped sense of something. Like, every single witch has had one so far, so it's safe to assume that maybe there is something more than meets the eye with Echidna, but she's the only one right now that Subaru can rely on. Like, she knows my secret. She knows everything. I can confide in her. Right now, you're my only hope. And this is where we get a really big piece of information regarding the witch's tea party. Now, Subaru wants to make sure that he can come back, but it's actually up to him, yet not guaranteed. See, if my understanding is correct, Subaru actually kind of went to this place himself. See, his inner thought yelled out for some kind of assistance. I need to know, or I need some help. And Echidna actually picked up on that and kind of summoned him there, invited him to the tea party. As she then states, well, you know what? Every time you get invited, it's harder and harder. First time was okay. Second time, you had to yell very, very loud. I mean, we saw what he went through. It was the fucking great rabbit. Like, that was the most gruesome death we've seen thus far, yet it makes sense. Like, that turmoil was the next level to get him invited. She goes, I don't know if you will be able to come here a third time. Like, the intensity of your, you know, your want to come here was loud, but do you think you can do it even louder? Like, shit, I don't know. I mean, what does he have to go through to be invited here a third fucking time? It just, I hate to think about that. But of course, you know, there's another way to see Echidna, because he looks, you know, he wants to confide in this woman that knows his fucking secret. Remember, he has the ability. We've seen him interact with Echidna, not in a tea party setting, but in a trial setting. So as long as he goes through the trials, he will once again find himself face to face with Echidna. Now, at this point, it's not 100% guaranteed that he's even going to be taking the other sanctuary trials, because as he's about to fade back to reality, the question comes up like, hey, Echidna, if you're here, who's actually, you know, going through with Amelia's trial? Like, that doesn't make a lot of sense. She's like, oh, don't worry, she's gonna fail anyways. I mean, day after day after day, like, this shit's not going through. I'm more, you know, focused on you and your trials. I mean, if you think you can get the cowardly princess to grow wings, as she puts it. Of course, this sets Subaru off like, hey, don't count Amelia out ever. You know, she's the one that's for me. Like, but it is kind of interesting. Like, not only does it seem like he want Amelia to do it by giving the princess wings, but also like he wants to meet Echidna again. So if he can't get invited to the tea party, he will have to go through the sanctuary trial. So it's like this weird kind of thing. But before too long, like, he's like fading literally out of subconsciousness or back to consciousness, however you want to put it. He's going back to the real world. He's like, hey, Kidna, hurry up. You said you need a payment. I want to remember you. We got to get this shit underway. What do you want? Now, this interaction with Petra's handkerchief, I'm not 100% sure what it meant, but was it the feeling or emotion behind Petra's gift to him? The actual intent is the thing she took? I'm not 100% sure what she took. I'll have to give it another rewatch, but yeah, it seems that that's all she wanted was the intent or emotion behind the actual gift. And with that, basically, we're out of time. Subaru is fading away. Echidna wants to give us one last line again. I mean, we saw, I believe it was the first party where she's like, oh, by the way, blah, 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 blah. Now she's doing it again. Hey, if you get invited a third time, I want to tell you a secret. What the fuck? Why couldn't you just tell us right now? Instead of saying that one line, just leave him with the fucking secret. Is this like a level thing? You couldn't do it at level 2, but now you have to wait till level 3? Like, I'm not 100% sure what the fuck's going on. Does she just want him to come back? I have no fucking clue. And we really don't have time to think about it, because what happens now, Subaru is back out in the world, right? The real world. He does remember Echidna, but that really doesn't fucking matter, because that's not the witch on his mind. As he goes outside because Amelia is missing, he sees the world covered in blackness, black miasma, completely shadow force fucking on the ground everywhere. Like, this shit is fucking creepy as fuck. And guess what? The meeting of witches is not fucking over. For what springs from this black miasma is a mysterious figure decked in darkness, but it's kind of shapely, so I can assume it's a woman, right? Well, yeah, when Subaru starts having flashbacks of every time he has encountered this now familiar, this aura, this mystique, everything makes sense. And when she begins to spout her rhetoric, we only know of one fanatical being. In this case, it's a fucking witch who seems to be so enamored with Subaru that she'll do fucking anything. Yes, once again, we are meeting another witch. This is Satella, the Witch of Envy. Oh my fucking god. What the fuck happened this loop? The only thing different was the tea party, right? Is that what summoned this fucking crazy bitch here? Like, so we go from Great Rabbit to now Witch of Envy. What the fuck? Seriously, what the fuck? And then when she begins to embrace him and all is she saying, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Like fucking, oh my god. Luckily, my main man Garfield pops out of fucking nowhere, drop a flying fucking knee on that bitch. He grabs Subaru and he's fucking out. Now at first it seems that she, she's trying to follow them, and you see the quote unquote invisible hands going after them, doing some major destructive damage. He eventually gets back to the village. Subaru, of course, is surprised at his savior because remember, last loop, Garfield killed fucking everybody, like just literally ripped Otto in half. Like it was pretty fucking gruesome, went all fucking full beast mode and shit. But of course, they're quick to realize that Satella at this point is not fucking following them. She's in fact headed towards a very interesting direction. Subaru points out, holy fuck shitballs. She's headed toward the mansion, towards a lot of people that I actually care about. Petra, Ram, Beatrice. Did that embrace unlock some kind of knowledge in her? Like, did she see his emotions of who he truly loves? And it's like, fuck these chicks. I don't need no fucking competition. He my man. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's bad enough that you had to deal with Elsa Granhirt and mob beasts destroying the mansion. Okay, then you had to go to Beatrice, maybe being a witch's cult disciple, which we've kind of debunked that, but let's not talk about that. So then you come back, you have to deal with the white Ryozu and the full-on beast mode Garfield. Okay, I mean, we can deal with that. We can kind of deal with that. But then we get the goddamn Great Rabbit, who gave us such a gorish death, it'll probably be etched in my memory forever. Psh, piece of cake. But now we're dealing with the most notorious witch ever in creation. Like, not to mention, she has a fucking boner for us. Like, Subaru, you are fucked. So fucked. Like, honestly, when I watch anime, I like to, kind of put myself in their world. Maybe not the main character, but give myself a bird's eye view. This world, fuck that shit. I'm okay with just sitting back and watching. I do not want to trade places with you at fucking all. I thought the last loop was bad. I thought the loop before that was fucking bad. This one, you have the fucking Witch of Envy? Dude, not to mention, I think pretty much everyone's dead, right? Like, Amelia is fucking gone. This miasma is completely covering everything. And last but not least, did you guys see the post-credit scene? Because if you want to leave off on a fucking cliffhanger, how about the fact that Roswell knows that Subaru can return by death, or at least some kind of manipulation, as he is embracing his own fucking gospel, by the way, his own fucking gospel. He takes it from under his fucking pillow, which makes me wonder if Ram knew about the gospel, because you gotta know she's fluffing that motherfucker's pillows. You know that for a fact. He embraces this book. Hey, you wanna go through hell? I'll walk right beside you. Hey, you wanna make hell your home? I'll make it a possibility. Just next time, the next go around, how about you not make any mistakes, Natsuki Subaru? What the fuck? Okay, so today's episode was fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. Honestly. So we finally get to put some faces to the names. I mean, we knew that there was a slew of witches. Obviously, eventually found out they embodied each sin. We knew of Satella. We knew of her basic form, i.e. because Amelia resembles her so fucking much. That's why everyone in the fucking Laguna fucking hates her. But then eventually we get fucking Echidna, and now in today's episode, we get to see not only Typhoon, Minerva, Daphne, but also Satella. Holy fucking shit. Like, that's fucking amazing. His whole interaction with Daphne, though, was so fucking, oh my god. It completely makes me question, how the fuck did the rabbit eat your balls if they're so goddamn hard? So fucking made of steel. Like, you got fucking steel balls to say that to a fucking witch. Yes, she's basically a disembodied voice, just a soul kind of trapped in with the other souls, embodied in this, you know, the Tea Party area realm. But still, dude, to say, not only did I kill your first fucking pet, I'm gonna X your next two, that was awesome. That was fucking, that's hero type shit right there. Can he back it up? I don't fucking know. Probably. He killed the white whale, didn't he? Then giving us a glimpse at Satella. Whew. Like I said, that fucking post-credit scene. Roswell. I knew something was up. We all knew something was up. So many people have called it out. It makes sense. Like, why would an individual, you literally fell out of the sky, got entangled in retrieving the insignia, and you end up at his mansion? That's literally what happened. Why would this individual have so much confidence in you when you literally just showed up fucking out of nowhere? That doesn't make any sense. Unless you realize that he realized that Subaru has some kind of innate ability to him, something that is powerful. We're talking about rewriting destiny. Now, I don't know how much he knows about this, but he knows, judging by this fucking line, that he can go through some kind of temporal manipulation, and he's leading it up to Subaru not to make a fucking mistake. Like, god damn, like, it actually makes sense. But then again, here is the gospel. Now, originally, I think I might have called Beatrice's gospel the Tomb of Wisdom, or the Tome of Wisdom. Now, that's not 100% real. How Funimation put it was, it's the book closest to the true Tome of Gospel, so it's kind of like a copy or imitation, and there's two of them. So can we assume that she has one and he has the other? And can we also assume that there is a real Tome of Wisdom out there? I'm not 100% sure. Not 100% sure, but we know shit's fucking up. He has his own goddamn gospel. He knows Subaru can, you know, time leap or whatever he fucking assumes Subaru can do. When will Subaru learn that Roswell learned? Like, I have no clue. Will it just come like, hey, I've known you've been fucking with time this whole fucking time. Like, oh, okay, so can we be better friends then? Can you stop, you know, doing some shady shit because you've been very conspicuous since day fucking one? I don't know. I mean, where do you fucking focus? Like, his main goal was the Great Rabbit. He goes back and there's fucking Satella right there. Like, what the fuck do you do? What the fuck do you do? I mean, there's so much going on. There's so fucking much going on. Like, what do you do? How? Oh shit, I fucking love this series. I really fucking love this series so fucking much. Anyways, you guys are probably tired of hearing this. Let's go ahead and wrap this up because this video is fucking long. So with all that being said, and I guess dealing with the Witch of Envy, like, I honestly cannot wait for future episodes.